Welcome back, everybody. Cat's going to disappear. Abracadabra. And the cat has disappeared. So we welcome you back. It is Saturday. It's December the 3rd, 2022. And we have another guitar here. Couldn't help ourselves. The Pro Audio Star sale is in its final days. So I thought I'd make another purchase. This is the most inexpensive one that I bought so far. And that's saying a lot because all the guitars that I have thus far purchased have been very expensive, relatively speaking, to the land of guitars. And this one is a Squier. No surprise there. This is an Affinity. This is only the, well, I guess I've owned a few Affinities. This is an Affinity Telecaster in Olympic white with the Laurel fretboard. And what's interesting, this is the transition model. They've done some updates or improvements on these guitars. This is supposedly a brand new guitar, but I'm already suspicious because you can see that you can't really see it, I'll tip it towards you, but the shroud is ripped open. So that indicates the possibility that this guitar has been opened by somebody else. Certainly couldn't prove it in a court of law. It would just be my opinion against somebody else's, but we'll see. But supposedly the improvements, or the updates, or the changes on this guitar are as follows. The previous Affinity Telecasters were string-through bridge, and this is supposed to be a string-through body. So that's one change. So we get it out of this thing, and it is. And it has a belly cut, or a rib cut as I like to call it. That feels pretty darn good. What's interesting though is this is made in China. It has the split tuners, which the previous model did not have, and has the gloss headstock, and it has the 42mm wide nut, which the previous Affinities did not. So I think what I'm going to do now is let this guitar just acclimate. We're just doing the 5-minute peak here. It does look like it's in fine condition. They usually jack those pickups way up. I'm not really sure why. It's got the sort of, some would say, sort of cheap. Let's weigh this guitar. Be right back. So it comes in at a respectable about 7 pounds. For some reason, all the Squiers that I've been getting as of late have incredibly high action. I'm not really sure why they're sending them out of the factory with the action jacked all the way up. But they do. What are you going to do? And we have a bent we're just going to bend it back and see how it works. Because if it's not hurt. So anyways, we will be back later. We're going to let it warm up a little bit, tune it out, check out its overall condition, neck relief, and all that stuff. And we'll be back. So stay tuned for further details. Welcome back, everybody. It is later in the evening. It's about 6:30 in the evening, and I took this guitar out of the box, as you saw, and I tuned it up. and I stretched the strings once, and I played it, and I played it, and I played it. And here's my conclusion. And again, everything with me is your mileage may vary. But this particular guitar is nothing short of fantastic. And here's why it's fantastic. First of all, the price. Even for the full price they're asking for these things, $250, $260, it's a bargain. At the Pro Audio Star blowout sale of Squier Guitars 2022 at $149, it's even a better bargain. It plays great, it looks great, it sounds great, it feels great. In fact, I'm so impressed with this guitar that the other guitars that I have over here that you've seen in the previous videos are already back in their box and getting ready to be sold. I prefer this to the classic Vibe. Surprise, surprise. Two reasons specifically. I like the thinner body, and I love they call it a belly cut, I call it a rib cut because I sit when I play. That's just really nice. The next thing they could have done was done a contour there. But then purists would scream it's not a Telecaster. Another feature I love about this guitar is the output jack. Friends, let me tell you, the biggest mistake that they made on the Telecaster over the years was sticking with the original design. The thing is a total piece of crap. If you have a problem with it, you have to rip the whole thing apart to access it. Tightening it is a pain in the butt, and inevitably it comes loose. This thing's a dream. 4 screws, the nuts right here on the outside, you can tighten it right up. So I much prefer this. Again, the purists are howling, oh, but it's not a real Telecaster. I think it's better. I have no idea if this has full-size pots, but I can tell you that their resistance is just really nice. It's comfortable, it's not loose, doesn't flop around. Whether it matters to anybody, this has the set screws on the knobs versus, for sure, the bullets are just the push down. I'm guessing that the previous Affinities were probably pushed down, so that's nice. The widening of the net to 42 millimeters, very nice. From what I understand, the original Affinities all had much more slender nuts, and people would complain about that being an issue, and I always thought that was interesting. I would think that the bullets would have the thinner nut. And what was also interesting over the last couple of years, they did the transition, was that the Affinities were all top loaders, and the bullets had the string through body. And now the Affinities are back to the traditional Telecaster string through body, and the bullets are all top loaders, so I don't know what they're thinking. I was surprised that this is made in China. I have no problem with it. They did a great job. Love the Chinese people. Can't say I love the Chinese government. So giving money to a communist country with a dictator is not really on the top of my list. I don't mean to get political. Indonesia is at least attempting to be a democracy. But you take what you can get, and this came from China, so I'll just grin and bear it and hope that they're paying their workers a living salary, which I doubt they are. The other thing that I've noticed in the past couple of years, and I've mentioned this before, the quality of the Indian Laurel fretboards is stupendous. I couldn't tell this from rosewood if I tried. I know the first year that Squier made the transition, the Indian Laurels looked pretty abysmal. I don't know if they're getting a better wood, if they're dyeing it, but even on this low price budget model, the fretboard on this is incredible. And I will also say that the fret work on this guitar is spectacular. The fret ends are smooth as butter. There was no scratchiness. I can't say that the frets were actually polished, but they certainly were cleaned. No scratchiness at all. And the sustain on this guitar is spectacular. I do need to adjust the action. It's a little high. The relief on the neck feels like it's just about right. I don't know why they had the bridge pickup jacked up almost touching the strings. It sounded awful. The more I lowered the bridge pickup, the better, more balanced it sounded. As you saw when I took it out of the box, the switch was bent, but it bent right back, and I'm sure it's going to be good to go for however long it's good to go. Just a cosmetic feature, but it has the 3-ply pick guard with the white and the black and the white, and that's nice. And who doesn't love Olympic white? On the video it looks like it's pure white, like it's Arctic white, but in person it's a nice, soft, buttery, relaxing. You're feeling aggravated or irritated, you pick up your Olympic white guitar and you start playing, and it just soothes the savage beast. So there you go. I give this guitar 2 thumbs up. It's really a nice guitar. I'm imagining that I have no plans on getting rid of this guitar. It's a keeper. Glad I got it. So much so that I just ordered another one in 3-color sunburst with the maple fretboard. Just because, again, it's $149 and the sale's going to come to an end. And I really like it. And the weight on this guitar is nice too. It's in the low 7 pounds. So if you're thinking about it, highly recommended. But as always, your mileage may vary. So thank you very much. Depending on the whims of FedEx, we should be back here soon in a day or two with another unboxing of a new guitar. Thank you very much.